We are reaching the end of 2024. And what a year it has been.
It's been a year.
What were some of your favorite moments from the year, Madison?
Oh, wow. I didn't know you were going to ask this. Lots of big work milestones, which were really fun. Mm-hmm. Became a coach at work, which is really awesome.
Mazel tov to that.
Yeah. I got to understudy Anya and Anastasia, and I got to go on as Anya, which was incredible.
Yeah.
Again, best day of my life.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, just lovely friends, lovely community, lovely people.
Nice. I mean, I'm going to cut all this, but one of my favorite moments was our first Cryptid tournament bracket. Way back at the beginning of January.
Was it really?
Yeah, truly. We battled Cryptids and the Thunderbird won.
Yeah, hell yeah, I did.
And later in August, we had our second bracket and the Thunderbird won again.
Because, Thunderbird.
But today, we're doing something a little different. We're not battling cryptids. Oh, no.
Okay.
Without further ado, I'd like to welcome everyone to the Cryptid Beauty Pageant.
Oh, my gosh.
That's right. 6 of our favorite cryptids, including the Thunderbird, will take to the stage to compete with each other in 3 categories.
Oh, my gosh.
Beauty, charm, and talent.
Okay. All right.
The candidates include the Squonk.
Oh, hell yeah.
Everyone's favorite undersquonk.
Yes.
The Sasquatch, a Bigfoot with an even bigger heart. Oh. Mothman, whose future is looking very bright. The Thunderbird, part myth, part meteorologist. Okay. The Loch Ness monster, who's next to none. And the Mongolian deathworm, who flew all the way from Asia in an economy class seat and did not complain about the leg room once. Who will win Mysterious 2024?
Oh my gosh, this is incredible.
Today's judges include myself, Dylan Berger, and
Madison Epley.
And welcome to My Existential Crisis,
the podcast where we talk about all the things that make us question our entire sense of self.
Thank you so much. We're joined behind us by an enormous crowd of eager audience members, all hoping that their favorite cryptid takes home the sash and crown. Yeah. Madison, who do you have your heart set on? I think I know. I think I have a suspicion.
You do?
I think I do.
Does it start with
Squonk and end with onk?
I love me a good squonk, but I'm gonna stick with my Thunderbird.
Wow. Okay.
I think I said in the very first one that we did, Thunderbird can get it. So.
Yeah, I remember that as well.
I wish I didn't.
Personally, I'm a fan of Mothman. He has the beauty. He has the brains. He has a perfectly sculpted inguinal crease.
Okay.
So let me just start off by telling the folks in the audience how we're going to do this.
Yes.
We'll start by assessing each cryptid on their beauty, giving them a score from 1 to 10.
Okay.
Then we'll grade them on their charm, that little something extra.
Okay.
Grading them again from 1 to 10. Lastly, we'll move into the talent segment, grading their performance from 1 to 10.
Okay.
We'll tally up their scores, find the average, and announce the winner. If there's a tie, we'll confer amongst ourselves and decide. For
the beauty pageant,
yes.
Have you drawn pictures of these, or do I just have to find the best pictures of each?
I have not drawn pictures of these this time. However, I will include descriptions of each.
Okay, cool.
Which will give us a good mental image for both ourselves and the people at home.
Cool. I will still include images on the social media, but,
Thank you very much for that.
Yes.
And by the end of this, we'll have our Mysterious 2024.
Mysterious?
Are you ready?
I'm so ready.
We're starting with our beauty and charm categories. And here comes the first cryptid waddling onto the stage. It's the Squonk. Let me just say, he is not poised favorably for this evaluation.
No, he's not.
Let me give a brief description of Pennsylvania's own heartthrob. The Squonk is so hideously unattractive that he spends most of his life hiding in shame. His skin is loose, wrinkled, and covered in warts, giving him a saggy, almost melted appearance, as though he's perpetually wearing a coat 2 sizes too big.
Oh, no, buddy.
His eyes are perpetually watery, and his face bears a melancholic expression that tugs at the heartstrings.
Wait, that's Dylan.
He's tugging at my heartstrings. Sparse tufts of fur stick out awkwardly, failing to provide any real coverage or symmetry. His overall look is one of tragic misfortune.
Oh, buddy.
Enhanced by the constant trail of tears he leaves behind as he weeps over his own supposed ugliness. His vulnerability is inspiring. Madison, let's discuss, where does the Squonk fall on the beauty scale? And let's remember, this is a beauty pageant,
I know.
not a cutie pageant.
I know. What's the lowest we can go?
I mean, it's a scale from 1 to 10, but I imagine if we're feeling a little less generous than we usually are, we can give him a 0.
I'm thinking 0. I love this little guy. I do, but that's kind of why I chose the Thunderbird, because I know him.
Yeah. You know, looking at him now, I feel a certain amount of empathy for this little fella.
Yeah.
I'm going to give him a 1.
You're going to give him a 1. Okay.
Yeah, so
all right.
your score is 0, my score
I do
is
give him a 0. I'm
1.
sorry, little guy.
But now, we're going to talk about his charm.
Okay.
Now,
all
Squonk has a
right.
little charm. He's wearing his vulnerability on his sleeve. He's just
is.
getting himself out there. He's a shy little guy.
Yeah.
But he's still on stage before all of us this evening.
Yes, he is.
And I think that takes a lot of bravery.
I would say so. Is charm bravery, though? Is empathy charm? What do we classify as charm?
Charm is that ability to go beyond the superficial.
Okay.
It's the
razzle-dazzle
substance behind
of the personality.
beauty. Yeah, the personality.
Okay. All right. I would give my little Squonky man some major charm then. 'cause
Okay.
he's got some. I'm certainly charmed by him.
Yes, I am as well.
Yes.
In fact, the audience is too. He has a
Yeah?
lot of fans here tonight.
He does.
All the
he
way
does.
from the area surrounding the northern Hemlock Forest, Pennsylvania, where he's from.
Exactly.
And all these good people are just putting up 10s.
Yeah.
I think he deserves a 10.
I agree. I would also give him a 10. My little Squonky boy.
Squonky Boy gets a 10 in charm from both the judges.
You know, if I had a pug, I would name him Squonk.
Pugs are essentially
They
squonks.
are.
They're the closest on God's green earth we will ever get to a squonk.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Unfortunately. Next up, we have the Sasquatch,
Okay.
known to his friends as Bigfoot.
Alrighty.
Here's a brief description of our friend Bigfoot. He's a towering figure of mystery, a humanoid creature covered in thick, shaggy fur that's a deep reddish brown. Standing at 8 feet tall, he possesses a powerful, broad-shouldered build with long, muscular arms that hang low, ending in hands large enough to envelop a basketball.
Okay.
Don't get in the court with this guy. His face is framed by coarse fur, leaving visible a flat nose, heavy brow ridge, and piercing eyes that seem to radiate both curiosity and wariness.
Okay.
Large padded feet measuring up to 24 inches long leave behind the massive tracks that have become his signature trait.
You know what they say?
What do they say?
They say big feet,
Go ahead.
big heart.
Now, I know the foot freaks in the audience are licking their damn lips.
Tony.
Shout out, Tony. Now, Madison, let's discuss. Where does the Sasquatch fall on the beauty scale?
I gotta say, this description was really top tier.
Yeah.
The only reason I might add that I would deduct points is perhaps the smell. I can
Yes.
imagine that Sasquatch does not smell great.
No, he doesn't.
So while his looks are giving me a rugged 8 or 9.
Oh, wow.
This description: broad shoulders, 8 foot tall.
That's quite a high score.
He's got those hands to hug you with. That'd be so snuggly. I would give him that. However, I imagine his hygiene is not the best.
Yes.
And that's not necessarily his fault. However, I'm thinking maybe like a 6.5.
6, down from 8 or 9 to 6.
Yeah.
That's a solid 3 points.
I mean, smells a lot. Smells a lot there.
He is not wearing his Dior Sauvage.
No, he's not.
No. He is wearing the natural scents of the forest. But can you blame him?
You know, since you put it that way, give it a 6. Go, and even 6.
Since you put it that way, I'm going to give the same score. All right, it's a 6 for Madison. Now, I like the way this guy looks.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. He is no shave November, December, January, February, March, April, and all the other months.
Yes.
And you got to appreciate his just rugged American look.
Yeah.
And for that, I'm going to give him a solid 7.
Okay, I think that's fair.
Now, how do we feel about his charm? He's kind of like a big gorilla.
Yeah, I'm not feeling much charm from him. However, although charm is below the surface, when you said about those piercing eyes,
Yes.
I mean, and the mystery, there is some inevitable charm in the looks.
Yes.
You know, so that cannot be disputed.
It can't.
I maybe would give him a 3 or 4.
3 or 4. Where do you settle there?
I know. I'm thinking. I give him a 4.
4.
Because he might be so dumb, he's cute.
He can hear you. Yeah. Now, I feel like he has a lot of stories to tell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like you could have a beer with this guy.
Yeah,
and
probably.
just sit down at a bar, a dive bar, and he'll just tell you how it is.
Yeah.
How he sees it.
How he's...
And I like that, so I'm going to give him a 6.
Okay, all right.
I feel like a solid 6 for Bigfoot.
All right.
All right, and here comes a real crowd pleaser.
Okay.
All the ladies in the audience are going wild.
That's my favorite.
It's Mothman.
That's not my favorite. I lied.
Here's a quick description of West Virginia's hometown hero.
Okay.
The Mothman is a striking creature, a large humanoid figure with an imposing 10-foot wingspan. He has glowing red eyes that you can just get lost in. His overall form is human with well-developed, sculpted muscles that give him an overall powerful physique. His shoulders are broad with a pronounced trapezius that tapers down into a V-shaped torso.
Damn, Dylan.
His chest is wide and firm, with defined pectorals that create a solid athletic look. Okay. His arms are thick and muscular, with biceps and triceps that bulge with strength.
All right.
Veined and etched with definition. His abdominal muscles are clearly defined, showcasing a six-pack or... am I seeing this right? Is that an 8-pack? Oh, and did I mention his perfectly sculpted inguinal crease?
You know who Dylan's favorite is.
You already know what score I think I should give this moth of a man.
Yes.
But let's discuss, where does Mothman fall on the beauty scale? What are your initial thoughts?
You're not going to like my answer.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness me.
Yeah, you're not going to like it.
There's a gasp from the audience.
Yeah, I'm thinking, I'm giving it a 6.
A 6?
Yeah. Listen, no, you cannot deny the pectorals and the musculature
the
the creases of this beast.
Yes.
However, I cannot get past the head of a moth. The head of a moth and just like some furriness. That's a little, excuse me out a little bit.
Yeah, he does have a pretty significant proboscis coming out of his moth face.
It's unfortunately.
But if you look at the wings, these beautiful wings.
They're gorgeous. That's why I didn't give it lower than a 6.
Yes.
I mean, you gotta look at the whole picture, you know?
Yeah, so the moth head is what ultimately puts you off.
Ultimately, yeah, just for overall aesthetics. But I have to say, the aesthetic that is there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, now, since you gave the Squonk a 0,
okay,
which is outside of the scale, I'm going to give Mothman an 11.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, 11 on beauty for Mothman from me, 6 from you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now, what do we think about Mothman's charm? He has a mystique to him.
So I feel like Mothman is a dick.
Really?
I do.
Where does that come from?
I don't know. Because look at his bod. Look at his bod. He's a gym bro.
Absolutely is.
He is a gym bro.
Yes.
And then what goes along with gym bro looks are typically gym bro personalities. I imagine he's got like a vapid personality. Dumb, but not adorable dumb like Sasquatch. More of just like a prejudicial, judgy dumb.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think it is important to note that he has tried to help the people of Point Pleasant, West Virginia on several occasions, warning them about upcoming disasters.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
He does have a good heart.
Okay.
And he has in the past tried to help people.
So here's the thing. Whenever I think of Mothman, I think of one particular human creature from my past who I associate with Mothman. Very attractive looking person. You know, at face value, a good personality. And then you dig a little deeper and you see that there are multiple large flaws.
And their name is, their first and last name is... I'm just kidding.
That's actually his name, so please. Yeah.
I'm gonna cut all this. Cool. I'll just bleep it out.
Okay. But yeah, so this person, very attractive. And they charm you initially.
Yeah.
Like they put you under their spell. And then you realize that it is just a spell.
And you feel like Mothman has been going out of his way to help the people of Point Pleasant, West Virginia, as a sort of he's virtue signaling.
I think so.
You think so?
I would say so. So I will give him points for that, because I think being charm, I cannot deny that there is a charm there.
Yes.
Much like this real person in my life. However, you must also see below that charm. So I will give him a 7.
A 7?
Yes. That feels pretty high for me.
Higher than I was expecting.
Me too, honestly.
You know what? I'm also going to give him a 7.
Okay.
I do think the beauty is there. I do think the brains are there. I just don't know how charming he is with a moth head. You know?
Yes. Oh. Okay. So now that I've got me thinking.
Okay.
With that in mind, see, the person I'm putting him akin to does not have a moth head.
Yeah.
So while I would rate that real life person as a 7, I'd probably rate this guy as a 6.
Okay.
In fact, I think you're correct. I don't know how charming he is quite with a moth head.
Right.
Okay. That feels more comfortable.
And Mothman is gone too soon. But next up, we have your favorite. The Thunderbird.
And the crowd goes wild.
Yes, the crowd goes wild. The Thunderbird was a winner of the past 2 tournament brackets, but I'm curious to see how it'll fare in this competition. Now, side note, what gender is a Thunderbird? I just wrote it, but...
I always imagined a man.
I always imagined a woman.
You did?
Yeah.
They're a baby.
A baby.
They are whatever you want them to be.
Okay. Because usually when I look at birds, I don't assign a particular sex to them.
See, I don't, but Thunderbird I do.
Okay. So it's a he. It's a powerful, masculine bird.
Here's why I would say it's a he.
Yes.
Because Thunderbirds, most creatures, in fact, who are male are more flashy. They are more colorful. They are usually not just stronger, but more showy in what they do.
Uh-huh.
So I feel like Thunderbird exudes all of those traits, making me suspect that it is a male. However, I am comfortable with a baby.
Okay, well, I'm suspecting it is a male just for consistency as well. Right. Now, let me give a brief description for those at home. The Thunderbird is a truly awe-inspiring creature, a colossal, majestic bird with an expansive wingspan that stretches up to 20 feet. His feathers are dark and glossy, ranging in hues from black to yellow. His head is large with a sharp, hooked beak and intense, intelligent eyes that seem to glow with an otherworldly power. His overall form is both graceful and imposing, capable of soaring through the skies with ease, yet equally capable of commanding respect and fear when seen on the ground or on the stage. Now, I know you're a fan of the Thunderbird, and it's definitely proven its might in battle. But Madison, where do we think the Thunderbird falls on the beauty scale? What are your initial thoughts?
For me, I would give my guy a 10.
10?
While he is not exuding the ripped musculature of the Mothman, he embodies that strength in many other ways.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
What kind of ways?
The wingspan, the glossy features. He's more like a pretty boy, a rugged pretty boy, like maybe like a Judd Nelson type.
Don't know who Judd Nelson is.
Who's Judd from Nelson? The Breakfast Club.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He's like dark and whereas like
denim jacket.
Yeah. Whereas Mothman rather is the pretty boy. Whereas I would say that my Thunderbird guy is like a little bit more rugged. He's a little broody.
He's absolutely.
He's that like the bad guy.
Brooding is definitely a feature that I do associate with birds quite a lot.
Yeah.
Especially the kind of bird the Thunderbird is. Yeah. The plumage. I mean, Madison, can we take a look at this plumage?
Stunning. Remarkable.
I'm agog. I'm aghast. I'm
gagged.
I'm gagged as well. And I have got to give Thunderbird a 10.
Okay.
I mean, look at this bird.
The magnificent creature.
And what do we think about his charm? Now, birds can be charming. They sing. They do a little dance if they're a parakeet. But Thunderbird is, like you mentioned, he's a little bit more brooding.
Yeah.
He is larger, more powerful.
Yeah.
And I don't see as much charm here as I do beauty.
I agree with that. Again, he's more of the Judd Nelson, the Heath Ledger of the beauty pageant.
Yeah, he's a Judd Apatow of the beauty pageant. Yeah.
I don't know about that. But I would say he's kind of the reverse of Mothman, whereas at first he's a little standoffish and like you're like, what's your deal? And then like you actually get down to the heart of it and he's like, he's got a good heart.
Yeah. Okay.
That said,
okay,
because of his, you got to really dig for that charm, I would probably give him a 5.
A 5?
Yes.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
5.
Yeah.
That's rough.
I know. I love the guy. But, based on, I'm being honest. I'm being objective.
I'm going to go even lower than that and say 3.
Okay.
Because I just don't see the charm here.
Okay.
He has everything that you'd want from a big Thunderbird, but I can't have a conversation with him. I can't have...
Gotta work at it a little bit.
He's slow to open up. I can't have a beer with him at a bar like I can with Sasquatch.
No, that's true.
He can't read my mind and tell me the perfect joke like Mothman. He can't hold my hand like the Squonk and give me a tissue when I'm crying after a hard day.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it's a 3.
That's really fair. I think that's really fair.
Now, sliding onto the stage next,
Yikes.
propelled by its slippery belly, is a Loch Ness monster. Hailing all the way from the Scottish Highlands, let me describe her in a little detail. She's a large serpentine creature with a long, sinuous neck, much like the neck of a prehistoric reptile. Her body is bulky and long, with several humps, and her skin is dark and smooth, blending with the dark, murky waters of Loch Ness. Her head has a horse-like appearance, with a slightly elongated snout and deep eyes, adding to her mysterious aura. Who is she? Now let's talk about where this Scottish sex symbol falls on the beauty scale.
Body yaddy yaddy, am I
right? Initial thoughts.
My initial thoughts are body yaddy yaddy.
Body yaddy yaddy. I don't know what that means, but
body
I know
yaddy
how it
yaddy.
feels.
She's a hottie. She's got that bod.
Yeah, she has humps.
Humps and lumps, like you mentioned.
Humps, lumps, little flippers.
Fergie wrote a song about it. She exudes Fergie's song.
Fergie wrote the song about the Loch Ness Monster, I think.
She did.
Isn't that correct?
That is a fact.
And I mean, the gloss, the glimmer, the shimmer.
Yeah.
The glisten.
Yeah.
Takes your breath away.
It really does. I'm thinking a 9.
9.
I would almost went 10. I almost went 10.
Okay, yeah.
But I don't know. Just not. I could use some more dimension besides there is a little blobbish going on there in terms of the body.
Yeah, she is bulky.
She has a body yaddy yaddy.
Yeah.
I could use some more definition there.
Yeah.
But everything else, definitely 9 worthy.
I mean, yeah, she's a little bulky, but you know what they say? She ain't a lady if she ain't 4,080. She's a big girl. All right, I give her an 8.
You give her an 8. Okay, yes. Okay.
All right, and where do we think about her charm? Now, I think there is some charm there.
I would also agree with that.
She's mysterious.
She's very coy.
She is a little standoffish.
Yes.
She hides.
Yes.
She's demure.
Yes. She is demure.
She truly is. A little coquettish, even.
Yes.
And she is rarely seen.
Yes. I would, I'll give her a 7. Just because she is rarely seen. I feel like if she was seen more frequently, then she'd definitely be higher. She's got that charm. Everybody wants to see her.
Yes.
It's just, who she lets see her.
Absolutely. So shy.
Coquette is the perfect word for her.
She's famous for standing up her dates.
Exactly.
I would give her probably an 8.
Okay.
I see the charm there.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I hope she'll give me her number.
You hearing? You listening?
All right.
Nasty?
Squirming his way onto the stage and into our hearts is a Mongolian death worm. He's come all the way from Mongolia, and that's extra impressive because we don't reimburse for travel. Here's a short description of this long gentleman. The Mongolian death worm is a fat, worm-like creature that spans 5 feet in length. His body is thick and segmented, resembling a large, bloated worm, with a smooth, reddish-yellow skin that gives him an almost greasy appearance. He has spines protruding from both ends of his body. He has no eyes to speak of, so don't expect any long romantic gazes from this fella. But what he lacks in identifiable facial features, he makes up for with slime. All right, where do we think the Mongolian deathworm falls on the beauty scale? What are your initial thoughts?
I feel so passionately about this one, it makes me want to change a previous answer.
What answer is that?
I would like to give the Squonk a 1 rather than a 0.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, let me adjust that.
Is that fair? Can I do that?
Sure.
Okay.
Yes, the Squonk's score has been adjusted from 0 to 1. Unheard of in this competition.
Unheard of. But you know what? I would like to give this guy the 0.
So, holy shit. Uglier than the Squonk, who is famously ugly.
I would say so. Yeah. For me, describing the slime, the off-putting colors, the only thing that I was close to, I'm like, okay, were the spikes, but then you just kept describing the greasiness.
Yeah.
And I can imagine this guy coming at me, no eyes for a romantic gaze.
Yes.
We don't judge here, but...
yeah, for all the eyeless people in our audience and our listenership.
No.
We don't judge.
We don't.
You don't need eyes to listen to a podcast.
You don't. Famously. But I would say that one less thing to, redeem itself by kind of clinches it for me.
And it is essentially clinched. What are the features that sort of redeem this Mongolian death worm?
Like I said, the spikes. When you said spike, and I was like, 3 at first. And then...
This little punk.
Exactly. And then you described the greasiness and the slime.
Yeah.
And I was off-put by that.
He's a greaser and a punk.
See, but if you're into that, I understand. It's just not my type.
Yeah.
I would not my beauty pageant.
He's a bad boy.
Yeah.
Bad worm.
The baddest. He is the not just the Judd Nelson of the Breakfast Club. He is the emo guy in the way back who doesn't shower for weeks.
Isn't it emo girl?
Well, yeah, but that's not her. It's like somebody else entirely.
Oh, wow.
Nobody on that Breakfast Club is this Mongolian worm. Yeah, if Ali Schneedy was
name dropping a lot of celebrities.
I am. But if Ali Schneedy in the Breakfast Club, the emo girl, didn't shower for a couple weeks and were more punk, that would be this.
Oh, I see. I always thought she was pretty cute. When I saw that movie for the first time, I was like, damn.
Oh, yeah. But if she were a worm and punk.
If she were a punk worm, I would have
to... just greased up.
I'd have to think a little bit more.
Okay.
Not very much more. I think I would give the Mongolian death worm a 1.
Okay.
Because he's shaped like a 1.
Okay. That is fair. You know what? That's very fair. Ali Schneedy, nothing against you. You're amazing. I only know you from that one thing.
I think she might be in the audience this evening.
Oh, there she is.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She's waving.
She is.
All right. Now, what do we think about the Mongolian death worm's charm? And let's talk about it, because I know the instinct is to go 0.
Yeah, kind of. Okay, you know what? I would give maybe a 2 for pity.
Oh, okay. Oh, that sucks.
I'm feeling lots of pity for this creature. Yeah. Not much else besides pity and disgust. But it's not like the Squonk where it kind of captures your heart.
Yeah.
It's like a ugh.
Now hold on. What if we do this? We're gonna have 2 people get on the stage. We're gonna have them lift up the Mongolian deathworm so he's vertical.
Okay.
Because we're just viewing him horizontally at the moment.
That's true. That's not fair.
They're lifting him up. And what do you think?
It's worse.
Worse. Yes.
I would like that worm to be put down.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I think that's the first time in a beauty pageant where we suggested euthanasia. All right. I would give him a 1.
Okay.
I just do not feel it for this guy.
Okay.
I feel for him, but...
my empathetic soul feels just a little.
Yeah, and it sucks because he traveled all the way from Mongolia.
It really does, and I feel bad, honestly. I think that's part of why I gave it a 3. Is that what I gave it? Did I give him a 3 or 2?
A 2.
I gave him a 2. That's partially why I gave it a 2 instead of a 1. Some of those extra pity points.
Yes, unless
3 feels too high.
Yeah, unless he really outperforms in the talent section.
That's possible.
He's going to be going home with nothing.
A consolation prize.
Yeah. Yeah. And that ends the first 2 categories of our assessment.
Okay.
Our scores are recorded. For our last category, we'll be judging our lovely contestants on their talent. Now, this is how we're going to judge things. Again, on a scale from 1 to 10. We'll bring each contestant to the stage and then talk about what talent they'd hypothetically have.
Okay.
And if there's a better way to do it, I don't want to know. First up is the Squonk.
Yes.
Now, Madison, what talent do you think the Squonk would show here? He gets up on stage with his stubby little legs, wearing his Wrangler jeans, and...
Yeah. I feel like the Squonk would recite...
poetry.
Exactly.
Yeah?
A really heart-wrenching poem that he wrote himself.
Yes.
Coming from the depths of his soul.
Yeah.
I feel like that's where he would shine.
Yes, and he's going up to the microphone now.
Yes. My heart is... I'm crying.
And the crowd is in tears.
I'm crying right now. I'm so...
Beautiful.
I'm crying.
It's like Lord Brian.
Oh, it's just beautiful. I'm tens.
10.
Tens all around.
Move over, Yeats. We have a new poet in town, and his name is Squonk. All right. We both give the Squonk a 10 on his beautiful rendition of that poem, which is named... And next up, we have Bigfoot.
Okay, all right.
He lumbers into the spotlight, an IPA in one hand.
Okay.
What talent do you think Bigfoot shows here? I think it has to do with his feet.
Oh, you do?
I think it's foot related.
Oh, I wasn't thinking that, but I would love to hear. What do you think foot related?
Tap dancing.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
Like a very tap focus. He puts on enormous tap shoes.
Okay. I was thinking...
What are you thinking?
I was thinking kind of the opposite direction.
Handstand.
Not quite. You know those, I believe it's a Scottish field activity.
Scottish field activity?
I believe... I believe so.
Okay.
It is a track and field activity where a Scotsman takes an actual tree and like lunges it, like sees how far he could toss it.
Yes.
And that's what I'm picturing for the Squonk.
For the Bigfoot?
That's what I meant. What did I say?
So have Squonk in the brain,
huh? It's so moving.
Yeah.
So moving. But no, for Sasquatch, I would imagine him trying to show his strength and his might and his knowledge for trees.
Yes.
By launching a tree trunk into the air as far as he can.
And he does it spectacularly.
Are we going with that?
Showing off his strength.
While he tap dances or just...
Just while he's standing.
He's just standing.
You can see his enormous basketball-sized hands just like lifting this log up, his muscles rippling.
Yeah.
The log flies into the rafters. Hits a light, falls down right next to him. Dangerous stuff.
Dangerous.
Now, just the sheer show of strength is quite impressive.
Yeah.
I would probably... However... I'm more of a cerebral kind of guy.
Yeah. The depth isn't quite there.
Yeah, it's impressive. I can't launch a log into the sky.
For damn sure. I couldn't even move a stove. I sliced my fingers open.
You famously can't move regular appliances.
Exactly.
Let alone a log, but there's no nuance.
Exactly.
There's no poetry to this.
Yeah.
It's just sheer
brute force.
Exertion.
Yeah.
Which does add a little bit to his beauty. Mm-hmm. I can see the crease, but I don't really see the talent.
Yeah.
So I'd probably give him like a 5.
I was going 6. I would again, as someone who can't move a stove or any appliance, famously, that is impressive. But I would agree with you. That's lacking some depth.
Yeah.
There. Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. You gave it a 6. I gave him a 5. All right, next we have Mothman fluttering down from the rafters. Barely dodged the log.
Yeah.
Now, what talent do you think he'd show? I think it's something to do with mind reading, maybe?
Oh, I was thinking much more simplistically, but I like what you're thinking.
What were you thinking?
I prefer the way that you went, but I was thinking something with light. Like maybe he did like a light show.
A light show?
Or like some puppetry.
Because he's a moth.
Yes. However, I do enjoy maybe as for like the mind, what are those people called? It's on the tip of my tongue. The mentalist. Like the Mentalist.
Ah.
Does like some card tricks, does some magic tricks.
Yes.
Things like that. Mm-hmm. What are you thinking there?
I like the idea of the light show.
Okay.
Because moths famously are attracted to light.
Exactly.
But I think he would get distracted halfway through.
I agree.
And start chasing around the lights that he is showing.
Yeah.
So.
Well, his passion may lie there. It might not be the best for his talents.
Yeah. Just a really buff dude chasing around lights on a stage. It's a little embarrassing.
Yeah.
Apparently, he didn't see this coming because I would give that talent a 3. And what would you give that talent?
His little light show.
Yeah.
His little light show. I'd give it a 4.
Okay.
Simply because of the charm I think it adds a little bit more charm. Like the aw.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a little less charming when a full-grown moth does it.
But it's not a man, it's a moth.
True. Very true.
Yes.
Now, next up, we have your favorite.
My guy?
The Thunderbird. This is a bit of a tough one. He's
tough.
alighting on the stage, his large wings folding behind him.
Yeah.
Now, what's the Thunderbird's talent?
That's a great question. I don't know. This is tough.
It is, because he's essentially just a big bird that controls the weather.
Yeah. And it's not like he can make rainbows on the spot. Maybe
he could make rain inside.
But is that considered a talent? I mean, I certainly can't do it.
Yeah, I couldn't do it either.
Okay, maybe making rain. I mean, what else would he do?
He could cough up like an owl pellet.
I hate this.
Thoughts?
You know, I'll pass. I will pass. Okay. I will. I will take the making of rain clouds.
Okay.
Maybe he can make everybody their own individual rain cloud or something.
Yes, he swirls around.
Yeah.
And a beautiful array of rain clouds emerge.
Yeah, maybe a rainbow does come from that.
Certainly.
Yeah.
I don't know how rainbows work, but maybe.
Light and rain. That's how.
I'm so glad we have a scientist as part of the panel. A beautiful talent for sure.
Yeah.
Easily, for me, it's a 7.
I would also say a 7. That has some more depth to it than just lumbering a log. Not quite as much as my Squonky boy. However, there is more depth and beauty.
Yes. Now, all right, old Nessie is slip-sliding her way forward with her tiny little flippers.
Yeah.
What talent do we think the Loch Ness Monster would show?
Okay.
Holding her breath?
I gotta say, okay, the way that she slithers and slides, I'm thinking like a burlesque dance or something. That was my first thought. Okay. Or hide and seek, the best hider in the world. Holding your breath.
I mean, I like the idea of a burlesque show.
Yeah.
She comes out wearing a very, very large set of, what do they wear? Like a corset?
Yeah.
And
slithering and sliding.
She's moving her little shoulders, her little flippers around.
Yeah, you got those little tassels going with. Yeah. Sits. I could see that happening.
Okay, absolutely, and she is still. I mean, I'm not going to say that. And she is looking very good.
Yes.
I would give that a 10.
I would. You know what? I'll give that a 10 as well. That's beautiful. It's art.
Yes. Okay. Beautiful performance from Nessie here.
Gorgeous.
Lovely show.
Especially the red sequins and beads against her green skin.
Yeah.
Beautiful contrast.
Yeah, this is what the audience came for.
Yes.
I'd love to see the Squonk do that. Now, last up we have, the Mongolian death worm. Yikes. He's slithering onto the stage. You can tell that he knows that this is his last chance.
Yeah.
Now, what talent would this fine worm show?
Maybe he can do the electric slide. I don't know. Maybe he can make art with his slime.
Oh, okay. Slime art.
Yeah, slime or grease art, you know.
Slime or grease art.
Yeah.
I never heard of those mediums before.
You know, I didn't either, but he's an inventor, if nothing else.
Yes, and
a little goth boy.
Our favorite goth, greasy punk worm.
Yep.
He whips back and then slimes the wall behind him. And hey, art can be anything.
Art is abstract.
You know, I love the effort here. He really put himself into the piece.
He did.
You know?
He did.
So I would have to give him probably an 8.
Okay.
As somebody who really appreciates this kind of art specifically, I'd give him an 8.
Okay. That's higher than I expected. Okay. My first instinct was 4.
Oh. Okay.
I do, although I do appreciate art and I appreciate the abstractness and that he put himself into it quite literally. It feels like it's missing some elements that I could use from my own art taste.
Sure. I mean, you can be perfectly honest. It's not like he has ears.
Oh, no.
Now, we will tally up our final scores and declare the winner.
Okay.
All right, Madison, will you announce the final scores for these 6 cryptids?
Yes, in the order of lowest to highest.
Let's do lowest to highest.
Okay, all right. In 6th place, all the way from Asia, is the Mongolian death worm with 16 points.
16 points.
Not the best.
It's a good thing that he has no fans in the audience.
It's true. Not even Ali Schneedy.
No.
In 5th place, with 34 points, is Bigfoot, or Sasquatch, as you might know him.
Okay.
Yes. In 4th place, with 37 points, Mothman.
Oh, not his best showing.
No, not quite. Now tied for 2nd and 3rd place.
Okay.
With 42 points is Squonk.
Oh, my heart is breaking.
And the Thunderbird.
Oh.
Yeah. Which leaves Nessie, the winner, at 52 points.
Wow. Incredible.
I believe a perfect score is 60.
I think maybe so. Yeah.
Okay. Pretty close.
Incredible. Almost a perfect score.
Almost.
So proud to name the Loch Ness Monster as Mysterious 2024.
Honestly, so deserving.
Congratulations to Nessie. Call me after the show. Now, Madison, how are you feeling about the results here?
You know, I'm surprised, but I'm not mad. I think that this is exactly where it should land. I love my Thunderbird, but in the charm category, and not some amazing talents, but not quite as the show that Nessie put on. And she is a charmer.
She really is.
Yeah. Beauty, no doubt.
That horse-shaped head with those deep eyes.
Exactly.
Goodness gracious, take me to Scotland. All right, well, thank you all so much for joining us. It has been a joy. Any listeners who weren't pleased with the results, write in. Tell us who you think should have won Mysterious 2024.
If you like what you heard and you're looking for some more of these beauty pageants or whatever you have it, you can follow us at MECrisisPod on Instagram and Facebook, or you can send us an email at myexistentialcrisispodcast@gmail.com. You can also follow Dylan at
Marblefolk, where I love drawing cryptids, just like these.
Yes, they're beautiful. Both beautiful and intriguing and fun. You must look at them.
You must.
Just wonderful. While you may not see these interpretations of the cryptids, you might see Dylan's interpretations of the cryptids, which are just as lovely and delightful.
Yeah.
You can also follow me at Madison.Epley, which doesn't have the same ring to it.
Nobody's wrote in with
Nobody.
a better...
Not a 1.
Okay.
Okay.
It'll happen.
Honestly, though, it feels professional. It feels like me. It's very, professional. Yes. Mm-hmm. Madison Epley. Nobody else is taking it. I'm one of a kind. One of a kind gal.
Fantastic.
But yeah, thanks, folks.
Thank you for listening, folks. Tune in next time.
Bye.
Bye.